Welcome to another episode of Hard Factor, presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Tuesday, September 1st, 2020, and we've got a full crew today, plus a special guest, Large. Thanks for joining, Large, for the full episode.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah. You didn't know you were going to have to do a full episode until you sat down. You probably thought you had to do about 10 minutes, and now you're going to do about 30, so...
Yeah, it's what they call a hard 10. I thought I was doing a hard 10. No. I haven't been hard for 30 in quite some time.
I know you're probably still reeling from that. You know, the 20 minutes of extra you're gonna have to give here. Check out the Token CEO podcast. Download that. Subscribe to that. Pat and I went on. Pat, what did you think about our talk with Erica?
I loved it. Except before we went on the air, I was like, Erica, do you want us to talk politics for real? And she's like, yeah, I don't know. And then we got on. She's like, talk politics. So it's Will and I talking politics, which is good. But ends up sometimes being divisive or pissing people off. But I thought we did a great job. Well, I thought you did a great job.
We had Mike on radio on Monday. I think that as the election gets closer, everybody's going to have to talk politics.
We're the hot girl at the party right
politics
now.
Today.
You know what? I made the mistake on Twitter. I watched the Republican National Convention and made these short rib nachos. Oh man! And I was like, I'm going to miss the speech, and I didn't care. I watched like the highlights, but it was 70 minutes, so I caught most of the fucking speech, making it the whole deal. And then I tweeted out afterwards that speech was longer than a CVS receipt, which is sort of everyone came at me. Fuck you, you liberal. That's exactly how long it should have been. I was like, no, it's a CVS joke.
I mean, it's also like, it's a great joke, but it's not new. I don't know. It's not cutting.
No.
It's not a cut.
Yeah, everything's political in 2020, even a CVS receipt.
Right. And it's a running joke with like the Lights, Camera, Barstool guys. I've been doing that joke on and off for, past 2 years. And this dude came at me. He's like, you don't fucking know.
Large, we get it. We get it on both sides. We get it hard on the comments. Yeah.
But you guys have to expect it. I'm a morning show, right? So
yeah.
I don't want to get rid of half my audience. So I do kind of sit in.
We're going to make you talk a lot of politics today. And then we'll quote tweet it all on Twitter. So
at this point, we just absorb all the blows and then take it out on our personal lives. Like my wife gets the reflex shots from all the people telling me I'm too liberal or too Republican. I just scream at her and the cats. That's just kind of how it works, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't have any cats, but I'll beat shit at my kids, right?
Yeah, exactly.
3 kids, no cats.
There you go. All right, merch. We have a great fucking day shirts. HAGFD. They are out in the Barstool store now. So they're stunning, simple. Just HAGFD out of American flags. Yeah. So go check that out. Pat's also wearing youtube.com/Hard Factor News. Pat's wearing a Hard Factor prototype hat. It's pretty sharp. Well, Large, what do you think of that one? Right there?
I like it. I mean, that's probably one of the better hats we sell. Is that a mesh one in the back? In the whole deal?
It's a mesh trucker in the back. It's funny you asked that. It's embroidered in the front. Has the shades, Hard Factor logo, the updated one. It's mesh trucker in the back. It's pretty sweet.
Scratch and sniff. It smells like BO. If you scratch the front.
This one does. Any of the ones that have been in my house, which is all of them so far.
Yeah.
I wish we could bottle the scent of the old garage, Wes's garage studio.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, you really don't. Just, yeah. Right.
And then now on to the thing that the Large is here for, everybody's been waiting for, the weight loss challenge. Starting weights. I'm going to go in ascending order. So lightest at the front. Pat weighed in at 243.8.
Hey, girl.
Nice job, Pat. Nice job, Pat.
So, yeah, not happy with that, personally. I think that's exactly like where I started at the last competition. So, no gain.
Yeah.
He's a big 243.
Well, yeah, a loss of like 35 pounds and a gain of 35 pounds seems healthy to me. So, glad to be starting there, guys.
Hey, you just did a nice V. Economic recovery, COVID style.
V-shaped recovery. I like it.
All right, then we got Wes. He's at 246.5. So this is nice because Wes and Pat are basically the same starting off. So
this was aided by rehab a little bit. Right?
A lot. I was 270 when I walked in those doors. And, you'd be surprised what not drinking, a case of beer every night will do for your belly. But I was 238 last week. And if you want me to gain like 8-7 pounds in a week, just announce a contest where I'm going to have to starve myself and I will easily put on 7 pounds in a week. So that's what I did. I hit all my favorites, all my favorite fast foods. So I was happy last week, but I'm ready to go.
All All right, Mark's up next, 277.4. Mark, how you feeling? Is that where are you at compared to the original starting weight of the original?
I was 276 to start last time, so another V-shaped
Everybody with
recovery.
the V-shape.
Yeah. I lost like 65 pounds and then gained it back in 14 months. So, yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's a 130 pound
That's
swing.
one word. That's one word for it.
It's almost like making this whole second round of weight loss feel pointless because we know
Did
we're
you
just
say
gonna land
depressive?
exactly
Did you say depressive?
exactly where we fucking were. This is stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like Hollywood actor status, like,
Yeah.
swing right there. That's
Yeah, I was
pretty
playing
fucking good.
the role of fat idiot. Method acting, yeah.
Oh shit. All right, I weighed in. I was like all week, am I going to be below 300 or above it? I weighed in at 300 on the nose, 300.0. So
Nice.
How many times did you weigh yourself trying to get under?
once. It was
Once?
crazy. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I figured
Yeah.
you'd ask me that question.
300.0, you can't weigh yourself again if you hit that one on the first one. That's it.
Yeah, that was it. I've also already stolen some old diet pills that are left over from before my wife got pregnant. So I'm already tossing those in.
Yeah, there's no rules to how to lose this weight, Large, and because I know this is your first round in the contest. It could be dangerous, and it usually is, and that's encouraged.
I didn't find out about this till last night. So I was chatting with Wes about rehabs, and he was like, "You want to do something tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, load up tonight." I'm like, "It's midnight." So I didn't do anything to prep for this. I had like an egg white wrap this morning. Oh, wow. I came in at 305.4, and Wes is like, "I see you wearing sneakers." So he made me reweigh, and so I was 303.8.
Jordan, nice pair of Jordans, by the way.
303.8.
I thought they were good.
Yeah, patent leather ones.
We get dangerously naked on our weigh-ins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the finale, you'll wanna weigh in.
Well, I just did it like out of the shower, so I was
The first one doesn't really matter, but the last one you're going to be like a boxer, holding up like the loincloth. Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna
Excellent.
get,
And I wasn't privy to how you guys did it last time. How long is it?
like 12 weeks or something like
Good
that.
question. We did 15 weeks last time. We'll have to agree. We haven't decided how long. This
Yeah,
one is,
we
but
also want
last
to do
one's 15
charity
weeks.
aspect and maybe try
Yeah.
to get a sponsor. Things like that would make sense for doing a weight loss on a podcast.
Yes.
But did you lose 65 pounds in 12 weeks? And then put
15
it
weeks.
back?
Yeah, I won pretty easily. I went from like 276 to like 211. I think I lost like 66 or 65 pounds, and I won in a landslide.
He essentially caught up with me. He landed like where I landed.
And I'm going to do it again, Large.
It's true.
And we'll see how long it takes me to put it back on. But I'm going to lose another 65 to 70 pounds in a couple months here.
Yeah, you smashed less in that competition. I'm glad I have 28 pounds still off. So
I'd rather that. I'd rather that right now. Yeah.
yeah. So now
Boys, we're 1,371.5 pounds. That is the five of us
Nice.
are. We're that's a lot.
well, we'll see. Maybe we can do like a grand total thing. People can bet like dollars or pennies or whatever. I don't know.
We lost like 215 pounds in 15 weeks, the four of us, last time. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, Large. What's your healthy weight? Like, what are you trying to like? What is?
I would love to get to a point where I fit under an umbrella again. But when we did this last year, that's why I thought it was good. I started at 205.4 last time I did this with Willie and Brandon Newman. Mm-hmm. And then after so many weeks, we really didn't even weigh out because Willie had gained weight. So like he was
at 205 or
Did you say
305?
305?
305. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been kind of hovering. So my walk around, I'll never be, in shape, but if I was to ever get down to like 260,
yeah,
Okay.
I'd feel good.
Let's set goals. Large is 260. My goal weight's 200 even. What are other people's goal weights?
77 pounds away is your goal weight?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
he's a psycho, Large. Just wait.
Oh, okay.
in this competition.
I shouldn't have joined. I fucking regret every second of this now. This is fucking
think-
terrible.
There's no losers. We're gonna give money to charity. There's no.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I think mine's similar to
Okay.
yours, Large, which is good because we're right around starting same weight, so we're gonna have to challenge each other in this. I think I'd like to get down to like the 250s or 240s if it's 12 weeks.
Beef.
I'm gonna just keep it real conservative here. If I can get to 212, I'm gonna be a happy camper. If I could be at 212,
Wes.
212. Well, I think my starting weight last time was 267 or something. I got down to 214 or something like that. So I'm gonna try to get to that 200 as well, Mark.
Yeah, let's change it, Wes.
So you two are going for 199.
Starts
really.
with a 1, yeah. Starts with a 1, yeah. Exactly, 199. Yeah.
199.
And Beeve, you're not going for that. You're not chasing that brass ring too.
Yeah, I'm like zig when you guys zag kind of guy, but I'll go 199 too. I'm in for 199. Come on. I'm not gonna hit it, but I'm in.
We got to decide how long this is going to go on.
We're going to get halfway to those goals, is my guess here.
It goes on until you get to your goal, so forever.
12 weeks. We'll start it at 12, see where we live.
12 sounds good.
Let's get into the show.
Yeah. Okay, stories. So Wes is up first.
All right, guys. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden has finally mustered the strength and the courage to emerge from his bunker/basement to address the American people and to start officially campaigning just 2 months from the election he hopes to win. So, that's a good idea. He addressed the nation from Pittsburgh and actually had some important shit to say. He wanted to make it perfectly clear that rioting and looting and setting fires is not protesting. He actually called it lawlessness, kind of Trumpian there, and said that those who do those things should be prosecuted. So, he's against all that. No matter what anyone says,
I think you're wrong, Wes, because I'm pretty sure in the RNC I heard that Biden was pro defunding police. I'm pretty sure that's what I heard in the RNC. So,
you're right. You did hear that at the RNC, Pat.
Biden came out to remind people how friendly he is with the police. Actually,
yeah,
right.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
He went on to say that violence will not bring change. It will only bring destruction. It divides instead of unites and is wrong in every way. He then went to attack Trump, of course, saying fires are burning and we have a president who fans the flames rather than fighting the flames. He then went on to distance himself from that violence, saying, you know me, you know my heart, you know my story, my family's story. Ask yourself, do I look like a radical socialist with a soft spot for rioters? Really? He then attacked Trump, saying this president long ago forfeited any moral leadership in this country. He can't stop the violence because for years he has fomented it. Fires are burning. We have a president who fans the flames rather than fight the flames. And he asked the country if we felt, safe under Donald Trump. He said he's been a toxic presence in our nation for 4 years and asked if we're going to rid ourselves of that toxin. So he was out there. He was doing his thing. I mean, he had a good message.
He also took no questions and had a few flubs too. So I mean, it wasn't on that front, not necessarily a win.
Right.
Pretty funny counter though, because Trump's yesterday was just being like Sleepy Joe. What was that was the extent of Trump's insult to Joe. This was kind of a clapback to that, right?
He said they couldn't have gotten a worse candidate, and it's the worst candidate they've ever put up.
Yeah, I mean Trump, and then immediately after Biden gave his speech, Trump went live and gave a coronavirus update, immediately responding. I think the game he's playing is try to draw Biden out as much as possible, to get into these back and forths as much as he can.
Give him more chances to make flubs.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And
do you guys buy into the thing that it's that one-sided if a debate happens? I mean, I guess that if you had to bet, is it going to be one of those things where it seems like someone's getting pushed around in a schoolyard, or you think that Joe will be able to hold his own at all? I mean, no one's giving him a shot if these guys do go to,
better
podiums.
than people expect, because like you say, everybody's expecting a total beatdown. But it doesn't do him any favors that he's like saying, well, those close to me suggest I have a fact checker present for the debate, stuff like that. I mean,
I think the vice presidential ones will be close.
Yeah. I mean, like it's tough because Large, it's like who's going to run faster in this race where one of the guy's legs is broken. I think that's the kind of the thing with the Biden Trump debate. It's like we think Biden's leg might be broken. It might not be.
Maybe,
we'll see.
Maybe that's the thing is they're setting you up mentally for him to be so bad that if he does just decent, it's like, whoa. It's like the opposite of like overhyping a movie and then it's like not that great a movie. They're doing the opposite.
It's going to be a good match because Trump has soft spots that if Biden doesn't have soft spots like Trump. Like if Biden hits Trump's soft spots.
Besides the brain.
Well, exactly. But I mean, like Trump has some subjects that if you go at him on, like he goes into rage mode and you can shake Trump if you hit the right things on him, which Biden doesn't really have. So we'll see. I mean, again, yes, the brain, it's going to be interesting. That's for sure.
Well, he hasn't taken questions in I don't know how long. It's been months. So, it's going to be interesting to see the debates. It's going to be one of the first times maybe since after his nomination acceptance speech like a few months ago or something that he's really taken any live questions or live.
He might get one of those Neuralinks that the pigs have right now from Elon Musk.
That'd be
You
a
never
good
know.
idea.
I do know that the production schedule is going to have dinner at 2:00. I know that for these debates. So
Yeah.
We want to see him though. To answer your question, Large, I think he'll do better than people expect.
I just think the fact-checking train has left the station. They should just give up on that, and it becomes like when I was running for student council. No homework on Fridays, and next guy's like cheeseburgers every day, and blowjobs in the fucking. You might as well just go by that thing because the facts don't really fucking matter anymore. I don't think.
Who was giving the
whoever's
blowies?
giving me more.
Because he could be, if he's giving the blowies, then that he can promise that. That's more likely than cheeseburgers.
I got to iron that out a little bit, but the cheeseburger thing works.
Yeah.
We did cheesesteaks. We had people campaign on Friday cheesesteaks, so we got you with the cheeseburgers. Yeah. In fact, what happened was they got rid of our good cheesesteaks. So the person who won said, "I'm going to bring back the original cheesesteaks and fuck these Friday cheesesteaks that they're giving us now." And that person won on a landslide. Yeah.
So Will mentioned one of the flubs. Biden also had this to say: COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 year. Look, here's the lives. It's just, and then gibberish. Think about it. More lives this year than any year in the past 100 years. And then President Trump retweeted that quote, making fun of it. Trump's campaign communications director, Tim Murtaugh, clapped back saying, as predicted, Joe Biden today failed to condemn the left-wing mobs burning, looting, and terrorizing American cities. He failed to condemn Antifa. He failed to condemn people who called the police a cancer, or people on his campaign staff who called them pigs. But, I mean, to be fair, Joe did condemn the violence. And then, Team Trump did a pretty good tweet. Said, breaking news, Joe Biden has left his basement and saw his shadow. 4 more years of President Trump. Yeah, pretty good one. So I mean, it's
gonna get nasty. It's gonna get nastier.
Yeah,
but that's that fact checking thing. Large brought up. Like he condemns the violence, and then Trump's team says he didn't even condemn the violence.
It was also weird.
Like,
he came out and said, "I will not cancel fracking," and then there's like a billion videos of him this year saying he would cancel fracking.
So that I mean, I didn't see that. That's the interesting thing that a lot of people thought was going to be his savior, because he went into Pennsylvania. He was the only Democratic candidate that said, "I'm not going to take fracking away now. I'll do it later." Every other candidate was like, fracking has to end immediately.
Yeah.
He knew that would alienate the Pennsylvania working class who are having a natural gas boom. So I don't know.
Well, and then today
he's got to win PA.
He said not at all, basically.
Yeah, he said it was a lie that he's saying that. So who knows what the truth is? So that's what's going on right now. It's the war of words is officially started. But let's kick it over to PredictIt. Large, do you use PredictIt? You gamble on politics at all?
Yeah, I started doing it after I'd heard you guys. So I did a little bit around the New Year when you guys were saying that he wouldn't be impeached before the New Year. That's the one that I think you guys led me. That was the
you
trap.
lost a ton of money on that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was driving in because the morning show was 7 to 9. So I was driving in so early. I listened to you guys every morning on my drive in. And then the pandemic hit, and I just started doing that. I just started getting into you guys as we developed this relationship, right? Mm-hmm. And so that was my first foray, as I rode you guys on that. So I haven't been back since.
We're
I think you guys suck.
on PredictIt.
I was wondering why our relationship took a hit in early 2020. Now,
it's a V-shaped recovery, though.
You discovered we're idiots. They hadn't discovered we were idiots by then. So PredictIt.org/promo/hardfactor20. Get your free $20 on us. You heard it from Large. It's fun, right? I mean, it's a good time.
It's great.
It makes the politics much more fun. The latest polls suggest that both men are winning. The latest on Real Clear Politics from Emerson has Biden with a 2-point edge. One by Trafalgar Group, which is a Republican group, I believe, has Trump by 11. The odds on PredictIt.
That's a national poll?
Yeah, they came out yesterday.
Yeah, Trafalgar.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it in my life.
Probably taken in
Big square.
I don't know, Louisiana or something. Who knows? The odds on PredictIt are Biden 58 cents, Trump 45 cents right now. So Biden climbed 2 cents yesterday due to his emergence, and people just thinking like, hey, he's going to walk around now. This is awesome.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close.
Right.
And Florida is going to loom large. Pennsylvania, obviously, that's why Biden, that was his first stop, and then Trump's going there. I think after Wisconsin. So
Yeah, well, Jill Biden is starting her campaign called Back to School. She's going to be visiting states: Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Florida, Nevada, Minnesota, Arizona, and Pennsylvania. So she's going to try to, help Joe out.
She's going to be screening the Rodney Dangerfield Classic Back to School in all those states, I think.
Oh, I wouldn't call that a classic. It's okay.
Back to School is fucking awesome.
The triple Lindy?
Triple
Lindy. Something like that. Yeah. But what you can do if you really want to is you can max out these two markets. If you feel like say Trump's going to win, you can max out the Biden versus Trump market, and you can max out the Dem versus Republican for president market. So you can double down on your picks, double your money. PredictIt.org/promo/hardfactor20. Another juicy market I wanted to kind of take a look at that has a lot of potential is when will Fox and CNN call the election winner? So right now, November 3rd is 24 cents. Probably not going to happen. November 4th is 30 cents. November 5th is 11 cents. So a lot of money on.
Oh, you don't think it's going to be far enough away on November 3rd?
No.
Well, midnight, right? It's midnight Eastern time because they go on East Coast time.
Because I think that one of them, because they both have to call it. I think Fox and CNN. So let's say Trump's losing, Fox isn't going to call it until but
they call it, Wes. They always call it, and then sometimes they have to uncall it. So
I don't know.
All right,
you'd have to read the rules on that one.
November 4th is high, so.
I like November 4th, Wes.
Yeah. All right, guys. COVID has undoubtedly changed some shit. There are obvious ways, like our economy, kids not in schools, and the 183,000 dead Americans. But I think of one way it's changed our lives permanently is the acceptance of remote working or telecommuting. Think about it. Like the technology before COVID was the exact same, but the stigma, whether it was okay to work from home or not, was it wasn't widely accepted. You had to be like the teacher's pet, or maybe have been sexually harassed in the office to have the privilege to work from home without being shamed. And guys, this means a number of things will be changing, but most importantly, it means that you don't have to live where you work. And companies like Google and Facebook have been saying that employees can work from home well into 2021, which has led to evidence, some of which is anecdotal, that people are fleeing the cities for more comfortable living situations. And a recent New York Times article chronicles the housing shortage in the suburbs around New York City. Have you guys been experiencing this at all? I've only been seeing it on Facebook, but Large, you're actually somewhat in the city. Are you feeling this?
Yeah, I just sold a house.
Well, you had
remember
three.
we were saying,
Okay, guys, for anyone who doesn't know, who's not a long-time listener to the show, Large had 3 houses.
Real estate
made some money in the
magnate,
stock market.
Large.
So are you going to step up here, Large, and with all these people leaving, are you going to buy all the houses?
You got to buy them up.
I'm glad you asked. So I dumped one. One of our things was we had moved into a smaller house close to the high school, blah, blah, blah. And this was going to be our second to last step before we moved into an apartment into the city once we got all the kids out. And my oldest is a junior in high school and my youngest is 10 years old. So this is somewhere down the line. I got to be honest with you. New York City right now and I used to take the subway when Dinkins was mayor. I used to take the subway to and from high school. I was an hour and 15 minutes both ways, which is essentially walking uphill in the snow. And it was with Dinkins, so it was like paper hats, bulletproof glass, crack vials everywhere.
Stinking Dinkins, yeah.
Yeah, I walked out of my car to walk to the office the other day at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I hadn't seen a hypodermic needle in quite some time. I had seen a couple of them. I'd seen a nice sized roach. I haven't seen a nice sized roach. And the homeless have taken over certain blocks. So if you think that New York is a place that I'm looking at now, like I usually like to know where the market's going to be. I just have zero fucking but with de Blasio especially, I have zero confidence in the city going forward. So I'm one of those guys who's like, stay away.
Little swing around, right? I mean, one of those. I mean,
no, I just think like now you have one of those things where disposable cash is going to be at a premium. So people are going to get sick of paying $5 million for an apartment and still stepping outside into bum vomit. Yeah. Where you don't need to have a 5-minute walk to the Columbus Circle to where you're working now. To Pat's point, I can do just as much for my $5 million. Let's make it something a little more reasonable. My $1 million and buy a fucking mansion and a yacht somewhere out in, the Hudson County.
I agree.
So it's one of those things where I'd be tempted to.
I think it's only going to get more and more, even if pandemic's going away. We're going to be fine. Fuck COVID. It's going to get back to normal in early 2021. That's what's going to happen.
Here's the data, boys.
But real quick, Pat, like Silicon Valley itself is going away itself. You can do everything remote. That's going to continue. The remote capabilities are going to get better and better and better. So like
some industries.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that freaks me out, though, is like Silicon Valley, like New York is massive. There's multiple industries there. San Francisco is very limited in their industry. And it was like the who's who of brains all went to that one place. I saw a study on like raising money.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Not anymore, maybe. I don't know. But they were always accepting of telecommuting, but they were still there. We'll see. Anyway, guys, in July, there was a 44% increase in home sales for the suburban counties surrounding Manhattan. When compared to the previous year. This is 44% up compared to the previous, right? According to Miller Samuel Real Estate appraisers, and consultants, the increase was 112% in Westchester. That's just north of New York City. 73% of Fairfield County, Connecticut, and that's just over the state border. And at the same time, the number of properties sold in Manhattan plummeted 56%, right? This is according to Miller Samuel. But here's the deal, guys. The article tells stories of people making offers on suburban properties sight unseen with cash bids within just days of the homes being listed. One real estate agent in New Jersey told the New York Times the people from New York are coming with a sense of urgency and that they want space. The demand is insane. Now, keep in mind, guys, that's his business to act like the real estate market is hyped the fuck up, because Fortune magazine talked to John Miller, who's the same Miller of Miller Samuel Real Estate that the Times cited for their article that was claiming people were leaving the cities in masses in July. And Miller said, there is an outbound migration. It's certainly happening. But the current narrative suggests that there will be 5 people left in Manhattan by September. What do you guys think the new normal will be? I think it's pretty much anecdotal.
Does this Miller guy sell real estate, specifically houses outside of the city?
He has like a real estate blog. He's a journalist specifically about real estate. But I don't know. It's just like I can't tell. I see one article saying one way, the other article saying the other way. I'm seeing a lot of people on Facebook, specifically people that have been in Austin for 10 years, leaving the city. But I don't know.
Yeah, this year's bad for cities. I mean, they're all going to look their shittiest right now. I do think that at some point cities will make a comeback, because it's not like the Spanish flu killed all cities.
But if you could be on a piece of land, like I went and looked at a piece of property on the river today. And it's a little bit far out of Austin, but it's on the fucking river. And it was affordable.
It's not just COVID though, yeah. It's the remote capabilities too. I would say that if these cities want to maintain their populations, they need to lower prices for rent and housing. San Francisco and New York specifically, some cities might not need to that, but the big cities need to lower their prices if they want to maintain.
Austin has looked great since COVID. The traffic is down. I mean, it's 10 times better in Austin right now, I think, with as far as traffic goes.
Well, what about the city's economy, though? I mean,
we just got Tesla. We just got Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
We got everything down here.
I got Alex Jones running around out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with New York. I was just shitting on it, but at the very beginning of the pandemic, I'm driving down 7th Avenue to the office and I'm going 4 lanes, just like weaving back and forth 4 lanes, just because I've never done it before in my life.
Yeah.
So an empty New York City is awesome.
Yeah.
I'd like to have some places open.
How drunk
so I can
were
run
you
in and
when
grab
you
a
were
nice...
weaving in these?
it was a Friday at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so right after
very
your show.
drunk.
So pretty
You were going to weave either way. Luckily, there was no one in your way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So an empty New York City is great. But, unfortunately, it's coming apart at the seams. A garbage pickup on the streets went from 7 days a week to 3 days a week.
Oh, no. It's garbage
so
piles.
rat complaints now have gone up 60%. It's not good, man.
Yeah.
Stay away.
That is one of the most off-putting things for people that, may have never been to New York that listen. There is garbage just out on the streets 24/7.
I told you can't call them that, Mark.
There's steam coming out of
what are you
every
supposed to
fucking
call it?
orifice.
Yeah.
24/7. It's just, and then if it rains, there are cigarette butts and Band-Aids floating down the sidewalks. It's
like a New
kind of
Jersey
dirty.
pool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, to your point, Pat, like I've heard the same stories about stuff. I live in Bergen County, New Jersey, about house prices going up pretty quickly because of the New Yorkers getting out. I still haven't heard rumor of stuff going for pennies on the dollar in the city. Like I haven't heard the inverse. Those people who are leaving haven't been fire selling their places on the west side.
Once the economy, if the economy slows down a little bit, you might see it.
We'll see.
Yeah, but like maybe a source of funds. I haven't seen people trying to, go to it and start to sell off some properties yet. So
anyway, Willie, what's up?
Yeah. All right. Quick California wildfire update, but it's good news this time, guys. So we've gone over this before. There's 3 main fires in Northern California that have been burning just like nonstop since mid-August. And the firefighters at first were having trouble getting them under control. And now, thankfully, with cooler weather, they've gotten them under control. So the 3 fires is the LNU Lightning Complex, which started on August 17th. That's burned over 375,000 acres, destroyed 1,200 homes, killed 5 people. And as of the time of this recording, it's contained 63%, which is pretty good. That means they're close to snuffing it out.
That's good. And confirmed at least 3% of that's from Chad Littleton, who put it out with Bud Light. That's the same fire that the Bud Light guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The guy was running
the guy who defended his home with Bud Light.
He contained at least a couple percent himself. Yeah.
He did pretty good. I mean, that's a strong fire. Took out 1,200 other homes, but not
I was
Chad.
actually I couldn't sleep the other night, and I was thinking about our buddy Chad Littleton. And I think what happened there is he got hammered on Bud Light and blacked out, and then woke up and thought he put his fire out with it. Because there's just
like,
no way, there's no way effective damage to a fire was done with a 30-pack of Bud Light. More likely it was to his brain
it was
and his liver.
it was multiple 30 packs.
Yeah, Chad had a stockpile. He's what you call an alcoholic.
Okay.
The SCU Lightning Complex started the next day after the LNU one. That was August 18th. And that's also burned over 383,000 acres. That one is now also 60% contained. So we covered, it all got started by these crazy lightning strikes. And then a third fire near Santa Cruz had burned nearly 85,000 acres and was 40% contained as of the time of this recording. Altogether, that's over 750,000 acres in Northern California that have been on fire recently. That's over 1,000 square miles, which is just hard to fathom. Really, imagine that all being on fire at the same time. 60,000 people still on mandatory evacuation, but a huge improvement from where they were last week. The fires are so big that NASA actually is tracking where they are with infrared imagery to show like where the fires are on the trees. And then they track the smoke all the way across the U.S. It goes into Canada and Mexico. That's how far the smoke travels. So it's just,
it's important to track the smoke.
Still a better place to live than New York City.
Well, yeah, I mean,
no way, bro. No way. Are you kidding me? The real estate's more fucking expensive, and you're living in literally hell. And I don't mean like as a conservative moving to California. I mean literal hell. I mean like the inferno.
Most of those places are pretty remote. But like if you're in Sacramento, which is right by like all the fires, or somewhere that's right next to them, you're gonna get a lot of smoke. A lot of smoke. Like I've been able to go on a jog in Reno in like probably 2 weeks or so.
And we know what that's like when we did the high
every time
times.
you walk out the door. So.
I feel like Northern California jumped the shark when the one monopoly electric company was like, fuck it, we can't contain like if you have 2 options, you can have power or wildfires. I feel like that's when it became pretty bad. And they're like, it's going to be like a decade before anything. You're like, it's like the Flint water with wildfires. Like if you turn on the power, it's likely to cause wildfires. So that's bad.
Yeah, it's just a constant. Every year you're gonna have fire season. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's just like hurricane season, but in a different way. That's it though. It's a better improvement than what it was. I mean, it could have gotten worse.
Right. Well, this next story, the last story we have, is sponsored by Caliper, right? Large, have you had Caliper CBD before?
I've never had it.
So the cool thing about
God.
Caliper
Right.
CBD, show them what you got there, Will, is it comes in packet form. So you can buy like a 10-pack or a 30-pack. I just bought another 30-pack. It's en route. And it's just individual 20 milligram packets of CBD, no THC in it. So you can't like fail a drug test. You can't get high. And you just pop this odorless, like scentless powder into any drink, basically water, sleepy time tea, whatever you want. And you don't even really need to stir it. It just like dissolves right away. You drink your drink. It's like it was never in there. And all of a sudden, boom, you're relaxed at a rate of 450% faster than any sort of like tinctures, those fucking disgusting oily tinctures. Like
We
first of all,
even
you
put the powder straight on our tongues, Large.
you look like a psychopath if you bring out a tincture in public and you're like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just dropping CBD oil in my mouth like a goddamn lunatic. You don't have to do that with with Caliper. You just pop it in your water and then boom, you're relaxed at a 450% faster rate. Yeah, and it's amazing. You can get started for under $20. Individual packets give you the benefits of CBD wherever you go. Unlike some products out there, Caliper is completely THC, like I mentioned, and also has all natural, non-GMO ingredients. And you can get 20% off your first order when you use promo code FACTOR at trycaliper.com/factor. That's CALIPER, Caliper. You can try Caliper CBD risk-free for 30 days. If you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund. Guess what? They have 0 people working on the refund team because they've never had a refund. They're just going to figure it out if you lie and say that you don't enjoy it, because you will. That's trycaliper.com/factor. Don't forget promo code FACTOR for 20% off your first order. So do that. And Large, you should do that too, because it's delicious.
Doing it right now as we speak.
All right.
It's incredible stuff. It really is.
And
Caliper podcast through and through.
For sure. They keep coming back to us because we keep giving them business because we were not bullshitting. And people like it. So, all right, we saved the best for last. And this story is also one I believe Large can help co-author with me. We were going to we joked earlier, and we're going to all do like serious stories about like Belarus and Russia, and come up with a bunch of serious news stories and then be like, hey, Large, your turn. Because we didn't tell him to prep for anything. But
We should have done that.
we should have done that. But this story kind of fell into our laps, and I think Large can help with this one because Ron Jeremy, who is already in jail, he's been charged with 20 new sex crimes to go along with all the other sex crimes he was at. And I know you talked with Lisa Ann recently about Ron Jeremy. So what's going on?
I had brought it up because the first charges came out when I happened to have her on the show that day. And it was crazy because Lisa has this affinity for him. She's never had a scene with him, which is something that she made clear.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I listened to that. She's really close with him.
So it was one of those things where she's like, and one of the reasons why she says that she'll never have a scene with somebody that she doesn't find, attractive enough to have a scene with, and the hedgehog just isn't attractive enough. Funny, he's 10 years younger than Joe Biden. Have you seen the pictures of him?
Holy shit.
When he's
Ron
on
Jeremy
trial and stuff? Ron Jeremy's only 67 years old.
Yeah, with the stringy hair and the mask hanging off in the orange jumpsuit. Those are depressing pictures. He looks like a giant herpes or a giant like chlamydia. Like he looks bad.
Like a molecule of chlamydia.
Yeah.
But she'd said that he's such a sweet guy and that he didn't need to ever have to pay for it or force himself because girls were always throwing himself on it, that she almost had doubted these allegations. And at some point I was like, whoa. You're like, what are we turning into here?
Yeah.
Elisa, if there's real, she's like, if it's real, I'm 100% against it, bury him under the prison. But, for now, and it's kind of refreshing. She's giving them the benefit of the doubt. But I think with another 20 allegations, things are starting to line up on the side against the hedgehog.
Yeah. We were kind of, unfortunately, I don't want to say everyone was, but we were kind of, myself included, on kind of like Lisa's side, being like, let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And Rudd's,
After we heard that.
talking about how we hope his fucking tree outside of his house was saved. Meanwhile, it turns out he's forcibly raped multiple women by allegation, aged 15 to 54. So one of them, and after those first arrests came out, when you talked with Lisa, dozens of women came out. I think like 35 women came out and said, he's assaulted me, which many of them have led to these 20 new allegations. Again, aged 15 to 54. The first go around, he had a forcible rape 1 charge against him. And now he has several more to go along with other things. He's
not getting out.
He's facing over 250 years in jail.
There's going to be a second wave of women that are just unhappy they had consensual sex with him, because that list is really long too.
Yeah.
The regret list?
The regret list.
Yeah, just
the regret comes afterwards.
Man, I shouldn't have. Why did I? Oh, Jesus Christ.
He was ranked number 1 in AVN's top 50 porn stars of all time. He was ranked the number 1 porn
Do you know
star
how he
of all
got his
time.
start? He got his start by sending his dick pics into, I think, Penthouse. And they were
His
like,
girlfriend.
Whoa,
His girlfriend encouraged him to do that, yeah.
hog on you. But, man.
He's starred in or directed over like 2,000 porns.
I'm just wondering about time, because he's got Will to Stilt numbers, and like, how does he find the time? Like, and also, like, if you're banging every day, like, why are you gonna go rape? He's
Turns out he's as ugly on the inside as he is on the outside, guys.
It's one of those power things.
Yeah.
We don't know the details exactly, but I'd imagine it sounds like he's an ultra aggressive guy sexually. Kind of.
I'm all the way out on Ron Jeremy.
Good idea.
Because the way that Lisa Ann was even talking about it. The way that Lisa Ann was even talking about it, she was saying, I think, like, he's a handsy handsy fella, right?
Always has been a little bit handsy and, playful almost to a degree. So maybe some of it was misconstrued, but obviously the overwhelming number of people who are against him means that, this misconstrued thing. I was just looking on Pornhub, I happen to have it up just to see where he was ranked, because sometimes these headlines do cast these guys back up, oh, Ron Jeremy, I'd like to see some of his work. I don't even see him on the thing. So I'm wondering if Pornhub has decided to take the high road and get rid of him also.
I think they're going to redo the rankings too at AVN. I think he's going to be gone next
We invited Ron Jeremy on the show, and his manager, Dante, got back to us and politely declined. And it was gutting for us at the time because we figured, of course, Ron Jeremy will do our show. What else does he have to do?
Had his hands full.
Well, it turned out, a lot of legal
Maybe
troubles.
he wanted to keep a low pro, is what I'm saying. Because that was a surprise that Ron didn't come on the show.
He's always wondering for the past 20 years, is this the show that they got me? Like,
you know what it was? It was Dennis Hop's funeral.
Right?
He gave the speech there at the
eulogy.
Flamingo in Carson City.
He did. He walked
everything
in on
went downhill after that.
He walked in on Hoff's dead body, and he admitted that it wasn't the first time after a night of partying, he'd walked in on a dead body.
This is Dennis Hoff, who owned the Bunny Ranch in Vegas, outside of Vegas.
Large nose.
Yeah, no, maybe he didn't want to come on the show because he's like, if I come on the show, there's a good chance I just confess to all those rapes. Like, maybe he's a loose cannon and he just didn't want to put himself.
It's 30 minutes. 30 minutes and not fucking is what it is.
We're gonna have to leave that cameo we paid for on the shelves. Ron Jeremy. That one's never gonna see the light of day. Well, and that's gonna do it for Hard Factor. Large, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for joining the weight loss. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna figure out a way to get a bunch of money to a charity. We're gonna throw some money in ourselves. Like, we're not quite as wealthy as you. So we're thinking maybe like 200, 250 each for the contestants. And then we're gonna try to get some fans to do one of those, like, pay like 10 cents per pound, like we're running a marathon type thing or something like that. So we'll figure that all out. But yeah, buy our new merch.
And how long it's going to go, all that stuff.
Yeah. So more to come on all that. But have a great fucking day.